Hey everybody,
Hi, Andrew.
how you doing, Rollan?
Hello. Hello,
Hi.
good morning.
How you doing, Jean, Jem, Chardane?
Hi.
Good morning. All good.
Oh, oh. So we got it 4 p.m. in Los Angeles and
Oh,
7 a.m. in Manila time, right?
yes.
Nice and early. Good. Well, thank you all for being here, and let me welcome everybody who's watching. Welcome everyone. Where are you watching from? Let us know. Hopefully, we got a lot of people from the Philippines watching to support as well. Nice. Don't be shy. Let us know. Comment
Yes.
underneath the live. There we go. Okay, so we got
Cool.
someone from Florida, says Facebook user. So let me remind you, please give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pic so that I'll be able to credit you when you comment or ask questions. It's just a simple link under the live, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give it a click, give permissions, jump on back. We got Tim in the house. Good to see you here, Tim, in Pennsylvania. And let me give a little shout out to StreamYard. So StreamYard, the multi-streaming app that makes this all possible. Streaming to Facebook groups, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I believe you can also stream to Twitch. So thank you, StreamYard. Here's a little intro to StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard.
Thank you, StreamYard.
Okay. And then we have my friend Mel Rayzabi in St. Augustine, Florida. Nice. Good to see you here. Great. Well, we got plenty of great design to showcase today and lots to go over. So, Rollan, do you want to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about this showcase?
Yes, Andrew. Again, thank you for having us here in this channel, and I would like to introduce some of our guest speakers for this session. I'm really honored and really happy to be with them because as their educator or their teacher and also their colleague in the field of Philippine design industry, they have been, and I saw their improvements throughout the time. I would like to introduce some of my friends here, which is first and foremost, I would like to introduce Jean Michelle Occeña. She is a design specialist in Rex Bookstore. Next one would be Chardane. Hi, Jean.
Hi, good morning.
And next one would be Chardane Martinez. She is from Phoenix Petroleum, Philippines.
Good morning,
And the,
everyone.
and last but not the least, and one of the longest been trainer for Creative Nation Academy, which is Jem, the one and only Jem Bocalbos.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Great.
So we're going to have to highlight more of the in-depth information about them in as they introduce themselves. So again, it's a pleasure for all of us to be here.
Great. So, so Jean, do you want to introduce yourself, and then we can jump into your slides shortly after? Yeah.
Yeah. So hi everyone. Good morning, and I would like to extend my gratitude to Andrew and Sir Roland for inviting me here. So I am Jean, and I am currently a creative design specialist at Rex Bookstore, where I mostly design printed learning materials for all kinds of learners, ranging from early childhood learners to adult learners. We also cater to law students. We also prepare learning materials for law students. So without further ado, I would like to walk you through to my journey, how I began from starting from nothing to where I am right now.
Great.
So that's my slides. So uh, so how did I start? So to be honest, I just started back in 2019. I started my illustration journey in 2019. So did you know that I am contented to be really using calligraphy and lettering? But one day I wanted to really surprise my dad on Father's Day. So here's what I did. So so I just basically grabbed my pen and paper and just try to make something out of it. And then I use my phone, scanned it, and then I use the brush tool on Adobe Illustrator, and then I traced the scanned illustration. So I kind of like it because I put the well in the well because I wanted to really brand my greetings for my dad. So that's how I did it. And then later on, I print it on a shirt and I gave it to him, and he was happy. So
Right.
from that moment on, I realized I really like to give these personalized gifts for the people I love.
Great.
So yeah. And then next one, I gave a birthday gift for my aunt. So this is how it looks like.
Hmm.
So there's some a little upgrading. I put some colors. So again, the branding is I make it sure there's a branding to my greeting. So I wrote Mighty Bessie because my aunt's name is Bessie, and I want to really describe her as someone that really uh with full of courage, and I want to look for word that rhymes with Bessie. So I immediately found this word mighty, and oh, I think it looks good with Mighty Bessie. And then yeah, and then I'm not sure if you can see it. It's just like she is doing a match sign. It's just a symbol of mighty. Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's for my 2019 artworks.
Nice.
So yeah, next is when pandemic broke out, I decided to create a passion project. It's called Letter Heals. What I mean by letter heals is the words can heal. So I talked to my college friend, and her name is Lars, and she made the color palette for that passion project. And then I told her I think we should make a thank you artwork for all the kind of frontliners. So this is what we did on the year 2020. So this is the first one. So I use Procreate for this. So if you notice, the word thank you has the same um font or style. So I'm not sure if you can read it as thank you farmers or thank farmers too, but I'm sure you will read it as thank you farmers because of the consistency between the thank you. And then I apply the repeating patterns of the pink leaves because it's one of the fundamentals of graphic design to use repeating or oh yeah, repeating patterns. So that's what I did for my first thank you artwork um for frontliners. Yeah. So next, and then later that year, I decided to open a personalized postcard request. So I let people a request letter from me, and at the same time their personalized postcard. So I do have a condition wherein I provide the palettes. They have to choose what colors they like from the palette provided, and then they have to give me the 3 to 4 letter words of their name. 3 to 4 letter words of their name, and then what symbols do they like. So for this one, I think if I'm not mistaken, she told on the request that she wants a moon. So I use Adobe Illustrator for this to execute this postcard design, and then I delivered it through online. So everything is online because it's pandemic. And then
And I was going to say I like the glowing quality of the moon. I didn't know that you could even do that in Illustrator. I'm such a Photoshop guy that I didn't think you had those type of features. I thought it was all more, you know, vector and not raster style. So cool.
I think I use a gradient, and then I use a transparency, if I'm not mistaken, because
Yeah,
I
next
kind of
time.
forgot it. Yeah, you can guys try it. Gradient and then opacity, and then next back, and then I want to do more. I want to be better. So Sir Roland introduced me to Classroom in the book. So I purchased Classroom in the book, Illustrator. I studied all Illustrator tutorials in the Classroom in the book. And then I figured I want to practice it. So I thought of using fun art works, applying what I learned from the Classroom in the book. So for this, can you tell me if you are familiar with this character? Anyone? Can you tell me if you are familiar with this character? Or if you're not, he is
I think
Joe
it's a Disney
from.
character.
Is it what?
It's a Disney
It's
character.
Yes, it's a Disney character from Soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the story because it tells the story that you don't have to be really have big purpose. You just have to enjoy the moment for you to be able to enjoy life. So that's I basically what I did here is before I used to trace back in 2019, but now I have a solid oval shape, and then I'm like sculpting it. I have I didn't trace this. I have two screens side by side. The first screen is the reference, and then the second screen is where I am working it. So I am using basic shapes, and then I am sculpting it to form like how it's formed to be.
It's a
So
good way to work.
next, next is
So,
Miguel from Coco. So it's the same thing. I have a base shape. So from that base shape, I just mold it, and then kind of you have to train your eye to observe, for you to really be great at really copying or doing vector arts. So here comes back in 2021, I was employed by Rex Bookstore. So I can only show you. I have done a lot of book covers, but this is the only. There are only two book covers that I can show you. So this is the first one, Human Rights Education. So I really like this because I conceptualize the idea. I can get photo from stock photo, but there's no specific photo that represent the Philippine context in human rights education. So I have to really um think of something. So what I did is I searched my wardrobe, and I looked for some costumes that my cousins that I made them as models, and then yeah,
good.
that's the
Smart.
outcome. Then last one, the tour and travel management. So I use Adobe Dimension here. If I don't know if you can notice, the phone was made in Adobe Dimensions. So the author liked that there is a passport, Philippine passport, and then an
Mhm.
ebook reader, and then the hat, and then the map, and then everything goes well. And then yeah, they approve it, and then finally it's out in the market. So that's for me. Thank you.
Great. Let's bring it back down, over,
Wow.
and reorganize.
Huh?
So Jem, do you want to introduce yourself and show your slides?
Sure. So, hi everyone. So, I'm Jemmarie Bocalbos. I nowadays I call myself as a multimedia marketer. So, just a little bit of context on why I call myself that. So, um, I believe that as creatives, we really have a lot of paths that we can go to, and then there is always this great debate of whether you'd be a generalist as a designer or you'd be a specialist. And then a lot of times, of course, people would advise that a person specialize so that you'll be able to brand yourself, and you'll be able to, like, when a person sees your artwork, they know it's you. And then I totally agree with that, but at the same time, my creative path is on the generalist path. Like, I've enjoyed being a multimedia designer for years now, and like even back when I was studying, I really couldn't stick to one style or one medium. So in my journey, I have decided that I would be the kind of creative not who would be unafraid to explore mediums as much as I could. And then I would help marketing teams and creatives understand each other, because like there I'm not sure if it's just here in the Philippines, but somehow as I am working, there seems to be an animosity between marketers and designers, because like there seems to be a misunderstanding between them, that somehow marketers think that what creatives do is super easy, but at the same time designers tend to say so much jargon that marketers couldn't understand why some things cannot be done, or how some things can be made easier if we create it like in another angle instead of how the marketers would say it. So
Right.
I really want to bridge the gap there. So in my journey as a creative, uh after so I'm a multimedia designer. So after I actually graduated from college, the first job that I had was actually as a web developer. But after after I became a web developer, I explored the world of marketing to learn more. And then after my stunt there as a full-time marketer, I actually went back to being a designer. So I became a graphic designer, a creative design specialist, and then I took up freelancing for marketing on the side, just to tie the two practice together. And then that was when I met Sir Rollan. My current company, Straight Arrow, is actually sister companies with Creative Nation Academy. And then they were looking for part-time instructor. And I believe as an educator that we really reach a lot of people. Like we teachers are influencers in a sense that we are able to help people shape their perspective, and we open up some new ideas to them. So being part of Creative Nation Academy and being under Sir Roland's wing, like he always gives tips and tricks. And then like pre-pandemic, I could just walk in his office and then he'd go, "Jen, did you watch the updates in Adobe?" And I'm like, "Wow!" And then one of those tools is actually Adobe Dimension. So um, I think we can like share my slides now, and
Okay.
then I can
There we
show
go.
um how how I was able to create like Adobe Dimension work.
There
So
it is. Yep.
for the first artwork that I'd like us to showcase. So me and Sir Roland were part of this group here in the Philippines called Graphic Artists Philippines. So this they had a challenge where we how can we creatively integrate their logo, and then how do we like present it. So this was the time when Adobe Dimension just came out, and then 3D is really one of those medium that I loved when I was really creating in multimedia. So I used to create using Maya, using SketchUp, and 3D Max. So very very great 3D programs. And then here comes Adobe Dimension, where everything seems to be easier. Like this, so the Graphic Artist Philippines logo is actually, the base was created in Adobe Photoshop. Photoshop also has a 3D capacity. So first, using Photoshop, we actually created the base where we embossed the logo. And then what I did there is, after saving it as .obj in Photoshop, you can actually import it in Dimension. So I imported the OBJ that we created in Photoshop into Dimension, and then that's where I actually set up the lights and the whole stage. So you can see the nice shadow and the lights in the background that was actually rendered in Dimension. And then in Dimension, you could actually render it as .psd, and it's actually layered. So after rendering it in Dimension as PSD, I actually just went back to Photoshop and then added like the textures inside the Gap logo. And the concept behind this is that somehow no man has ever explored the depths of the ocean. Like it's like outer space but in a totally opposite way. So like I wanted to incorporate outer space and at the same time the depths of the ocean, because I think as a creative we really have a lot of potential like the ocean and the space. So it's a very fantastic concept that I really wanted to show, because in Graphic Artists Philippines, in that group, like you'll really meet designers of all levels. And um I'm always amazed, like when I actually, as an admin of the group, I have to approve artworks, and then I'm always very amazed with the artworks that I'm seeing there. So really, like, thanks so much for showcasing the Filipino designers. Like the three of us is just like a preview, a really a preview into the creativity of Filipinos. So
Tip of the iceberg, they would say.
yes, yes. So thanks so much. So now let's move on to the next slide. So still, as I was exploring Dimension, I wanted to also incorporate Illustrator. And this was the time that I was learning how, like, not just typography. Like I'm learning about typography, but at the same time I was exploring other ways on how typography can be done. So um there is this quote that I saw that really hit the spot. So design creates culture, and culture shape values. And values determine a lot about a person. So I created this set of posters using typography and some patterns. So the main posters themselves were created using Illustrator, and then once they were exported like as images, then they were imported in Adobe Dimension. So I created the same shape so that we can get like the poster, and then I added the actual design as a texture in Dimension. And then you can see the bubble effects there. So those bubbles are from Dimension, added in Dimension, and then I rendered them. So it really, like Dimension really makes it easier to add personality to your artwork when you render them. So I really enjoyed creating this artwork. And then like the blue and orange really just pops, and then those random textures there. So yeah, I enjoyed this artwork, and it really just shows how Adobe as a creator of these creative tools, some people would say that why does Adobe create so many apps that it just makes it confusing for creatives? But for me, I'm really thankful that Adobe like created this set, because like I think in itself Photoshop, Illustrator, Dimension, InDesign, they're all apps that have their own specialty, and then they cater to certain set of people, and then with it they really depend on what kind of outputs you want. Like some people would say that Photoshop can do everything, and at some point I do agree Photoshop can do everything, but Sir Roland has this quote that, you will you use a hammer to screw a screwdriver, something like that quote. So but in Adobe,
Photoshop isn't a hammer.
like yeah, so like Photoshop is great, but for example, like I love InDesign as well to create like other collaterals, and then there are really just some things that InDesign makes super easy compared to like creating 100 artboards in Photoshop. If you're doing a magazine, that it's just simply easier to make it as a page in InDesign. So yeah. And then for the next artwork, so we have this passion project, like because at work we are always catering to one client, and we wanted to practice our personal design skills. So this series of poster is really about ikigai, a reason of being. So it's really it's a Japanese ikigai is a Japanese belief where the thing that you love, the thing that the world needs, and the thing that the world will pay you for, like where it ikigai is where all those three overlaps. And um I wanted to like showcase how I saw it, and then like there are four ways that I thought we could present the artwork. And then so the imagery, the main imagery is that actually this colorful koi fish. So I did not create this from scratch. I actually saw the inspiration online, and then I just tweaked it a bit. So I believe like a koi fish, like in Japan, has the deep symbolism as well. So it's something about life and freedom, because like of the elegance as well of leaving. So yeah. So I use the fish as a main imagery, but at the same time, like I created typography, and then like in the back there's a poster where there's gold texture with ikigai, because like our purpose in life is golden, and I'm really hoping everyone would be able to find theirs. Like not not everyone would be able to find it like so early on, but with people like so far that I've encountered, I believe that it's really educating, that educating is the way. So I'm so thankful that I met Sir Roland, and he's been influencing me with helping people, sharing knowledge, and at the same time, as an educator, it's also our responsibility to be a learner, to keep on learning so that we don't stay stagnant. So
Correct.
yeah, that's like how I see my ikigai to be. Like I love creating, I love designing, and then I also love sharing it. And at the same time, I think the world really needs to see our insight as creative. And yeah, it's something the world pays me for, and we're very very happy that being a creative and being an educator is a way of living that I could do. So there. So for the other things that I've been doing as a creative, so I've also been creating book covers or magazine covers. So for this one, this is for the Department of Science and Technology here in the Philippines. So I actually pitch some designs for them, um, they were actually very willing to modernize the design. So this was in 2017, and so I pitched this three design. Um, they we sort of didn't have an agreement like in the contract, so they weren't really able to use my designs. But really, just creating this, um, I believe that like in the like the way the government can coordinate with creatives can really improve a lot. Like it was a good experience being able to like it's a one time thing because I was just really pitching. I wasn't really expecting anything to be like set in stone. But as a creative working like to work in with the government, I think like there's really is a lot to improve there with the process. But I think right now they've probably improved. I'm seeing like better collaterals from the government from us. So yeah, like I think hopefully like that experience in 2017 to 2023, like more creatives would um share their talent with the government. So yeah.
Good point.
So the general concept here for this annual report is like it needed to be on brand. That's why there are certain colors that are present in all of the design. And but at the same time, I don't want all the I don't want to stay with one look and feel only. So I actually explored if the person who's going to approve the artwork would prefer like the square shapes, because like we know like in the psychology of design that square and edges is something that's more stable, um and it just have that balance feeling to it. But at the same time, in the middle, I wanted to pitch like a circle because like it's a bit more feminine, but at the same time, the circle has a symbolism of being never ending, and being a cycle. So
Interesting.
there. And then we have the square again, but this time really four squares. So there, that's how like when I'm creating artworks and when I'm pitching, I my process is that I try my best to have a minimum of three designs initially for the client to choose from, and then when they pick the final design, they can just give improvements on there. And then my tip for creative there is if you're going to do three design, at least make sure that all three would look different, because like they can mix and match those three design in the end, and it just makes the process much faster. So in another slide, this is another book cover. So how to be a millennial teacher. So as you can see again, I have this three design, and they all have different color scheme and different take on how the design would look like. So like for the first two, it's mostly typography that I played around with, and there are like less graphics, just subtle shapes. But then in the third design, like I added more imagery of a book within a book, like it's sort of an inception thing. So yeah, like it's still they're vastly different from each other. And this makes it easier for your client to actually give you direction and to help you choose, like you're helping them choose. Because like one of the issues that I've had as so I mentioned earlier how I wanted to tie up being a creative and being a marketer. So I had this project where I'm working with a great logo designer, and I'm also working with this great client, great payer. Like she paid everything in advance. So I was her marketer. But of course, before I'm able to market anything, she actually needed to have a finalized logo, which she couldn't agree with her logo designer. And this logo designer was really, really good. He is known in the industry, and he has created over 50 design for the client. but the client still hasn't chosen one logo. And the problem there that I saw was that I talked to the client and she couldn't visualize how that logo would look like in the packaging of her products. So I'm like, so that was the problem. And then I talked to the designer and I was like, have you tried putting your logos in a mock-up so that our client would be able to visualize it? And then um, from there, the process became smoother. Like from the frustration of both sides, the client and the designer, that they couldn't understand each other. They've been over 50 design, and the feedback have all been negative. Um when they were able to um when the designer added the logos in the mock-up, the process just became easier, and they were able to finalize the logo like in 2 days, compared to, like, I think they've been working for weeks on those 50 design. And it shows that, aside from giving multiple options to the client, if like after 3 or 4 iteration of design, like you're seeing that the client is still not going anywhere, then I think as designers, we want to help them see how should our design be used. So in this case, like, it's a packaging design. So let's try to mock it up in packaging, and that would definitely help them decide that um
Sure.
how which design they want to use. So this is a small tip. And then, so this is a photography of a shoes, female shoes. So this is really just one of those things that I was doing as well. That um when I was working as a marketer, I was also the photographer of the company. And I think it's really a fun experience for me because um as a marketer, I actually didn't expect I would be the photographer as well. But the products were actually female shoes, and I think it's something um that I actually also enjoy as well. I mean, I love sneakers, but like the symbolism of shoes in our lives is that, shoes is what you wear when you want to go somewhere. Like it creates like an image. It's such a small thing. It's You're wearing it by your feet, but like if you have painful feet, it affects, the way you walk, the way you present yourself. So it really just shows the importance of, shoes. But in this artwork, I really just want to showcase like the shoes in a natural setting, like just relaxing on grass, and then there are flowers everywhere, just so to add that feminine touch to the obviously female shoes already. So yep. As a designer, I think it's really, rule of thirds is one of the first things that I think like aspiring designers can look up. It would help, like, not just the composition in our design, but like even in photography, the certain composition and rules of composition would also help as well.
Great.
hmm So there, I think this is second to the last of my slides. So for this one, this is created fully in Adobe Dimension, but the assets that I used actually came from the Google SketchUp library. So I think like some of the assets and the Little Prince imagery here, the 3D asset actually also came from some free libraries that I've used. So what I love about Dimension is that it's a stage where you can put together assets made by multiple people, and it makes it easier to really create artworks. So I love this quote from The Little Prince, that it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. So like sometimes there are some things that we can't see, but is important, like the bonds that we create with our family, with our friends. So yeah, that's really my inspiration with creating this artwork. And if you'll notice, like with my dimension designs, it always has this universe, this stars thing, and I'm really very drawn to the vastness of the universe. Like, I know I'm probably like smaller than the stars there that we see, but we create an impact, we create a ripple, like no matter how small we are. And as the quote mentioned, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. So what is essential is invisible to the eye. Like sometimes maybe would be invisible, would feel like we're not making enough impact, but we are, like, as long as we decide to walk on the path that we want, and we create an impact. So on the last artwork, so it's strangely enough, it's not showing up, but it's actually in Google Slides. So, but the last artwork is actually a logo design that I've created. So I don't know why it's not showing up, even though it's in Google
Yeah.
Slide. I think it's a technical difficulty with the artwork. But
Well,
yes.
I think that's for the upcoming episode. So
Yeah, you can go in that further. So
Yeah.
thank you.
So yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully, like, you can have ask me questions with the links later. Like, I think Andrew will be sharing some links.
Excellent. So yes, so Chardane, you want to introduce yourself and
Hello, everyone. Good morning. So, my name is Chardane Martinez. I'm a creative design artist in Phoenix Petroleum, Philippines. I design for the brand of Family Mart and Limitless, and I also design for I also create design for video editing and packaging. Okay, so I started in Phoenix way 2018. uh, at first, I applied for Phoenix Petroleum, but unfortunately, I was not selected in there. So my resume was forwarded to Family Ward, which is uh, newly sub, sub, subsidized by the Phoenix Petroleum Philippines. So I started in a food industry design, which is the country style. Then there, I was absorbed by the Family Mart, and there. Then moving forward afterwards, I was absorbed by the Phoenix Petroleum Philippines. So there. The only tool that I only have is Photoshop at that time. So I can walk you through my journey. How did I started in um, in nothingness, like Jean said, to what I have now.
sh-
So
show the slides. Yeah,
yeah, okay.
there we go.
So there, I'm a certified Adobe certified professional in Photoshop and also Adobe creative educator. And also, good morning, everyone. And I would like to thank Sir Andrew and Sir Roland for inviting me here and showcase uh, my accomplishments here. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so here, my first one, as you can see, it's a video, and uh, in in the other part is it's a storyboard. Okay, so um, I will explain to you what is happening here. So, a friend of mine asked me to create him a video ad for his business. So, it's called JPE Print and Design Services. So, um, actually, he didn't know how to start with the video. So, I asked him, "What is your services? What do you offer?" So, he provided me everything and that. And what I did is um, uh, I checked the background of the services that he do, which is the printing. So the main point here is it started with the cyan color, as you can see there, and it prints the white text, which is the need something to print. So I want to show them that it's a printing it's a printing service. Then uh, from there, uh, it moves to the left side. Then um, we got here the magenta color, and uh, it it meets in the middle. So it explained here. Then one by one, I introduce all the services that they provide, which is the business card, invitation card, then magic magic mug print, and others. Usually, how I create the video, I always match it with the music, so that um, when every transition, there is always a how do you spell this? There's always a communication in there, even though it's not talking, but the music is there. Is like uh, it's jive, it's a bit, and you are you're kind of uh, you hook the customers in there. Okay, so next slide is again is it's a video. Actually, as you can see, I mentioned before that the only tool that I know is Photoshop. So before I before I learned this video, uh, before before I learned this video, I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous right now. So um, I went to Creative Nation Academy to learn new stuff, and I started to learn create Creative Nation Academy when I'm scrolling in the Facebook, and I'm looking for some authorized Adobe uh, school, which is there I find Creative Nation Academy, and there I and there I get to know Sir Roland. So I started in Creative Nation Academy in getting the learning of Adobe XD, which is which is Sir Roland again. What is the
It's a UX design
yes
tool.
UX design
Yeah.
then. And moving forward after that, I get the lesson, which is the design thinking with Sir Racleo. So um, this these storyboards, this everything that I got is it's because of Creative Nation, learning the basics and everything. So the very reason why I get the lesson of design thinking is I want to connect with the marketing. That's the very reason. Just like Jem mentioned, there is animosity between the creative and the marketing. So that's why I want to step up. I want to understand them. So that's why I took the lesson of design thinking, and that's how I got everything in here. How I create the storyboard, how I create a good ads there. That's why how I understand them, and also they also understand it because it's not just that I understand them. Uh, we are also collaborating. We are exchanging ideas in there. So here in this slide, a friend of mine asked me if I can create them a video, which is showing them their uh, how do you say, their services. So their service is about making their internet fast. So here, it started from a very uh, low or very having a problem with the internet. So there is a meter in here showing. Then after that, it speeds up. Then showing all the services that they have there. So after that, moving to next slide. Here strands. So this one, um, I didn't do this for anyone. I just do this for a certain project for myself, which is the 30-day. logo challenge. I want to check myself if I can do this. So I tried it. This challenge is a day two challenge wherein you have to design for a salon or a barber shop. So I looked for names and there I find strands. So in strands, I I start there looking for a hair follicle, then a girl with a ponytail, then um, the font, which is customized font, then there started there. So I started with the makeup, with the colors, and there. Brown is a usual color for hair. Then black. Okay. So moving forward to the next slide is here. This is also a 30-day challenge, which is in day one, I have to create a logo named Burger Joint. So uh, at first, I'm kind of, how am I going to start with this? What is joint? What is burger? So how am I going to show it the name and also the idea? So here, despite this, I find ideas. So first is the burger. Then I combined it with the bone joint. So there, as you can see, there is a show of a bone joint. Then in the middle is the burger and the cheese. Then there. So that's how burger joint starts. Then on the next slide is here. Um, Here is this is a logo of mine. Uh, as if anyone knows, I create my own perfume, which is
Mm.
yes, which is I go to is also a workshop in Makati. So I want to combine uh, my skills in the designing and also the new stuff that I have. So there I created my logo, which is the potion. So potion is a dictionary or a vocabulary word for potion. So I just want to make it a very different way of naming it. So there, as you can see in here, I rendered it in Adobe Dimension.
Dimension.
Yes, I want it to show a product centric. Yes. So on my next slide is there. This one, I think I created it 2018. It was a inspired by a donut city that I saw in Pinterest. So I want to challenge myself, but I want to see, can I do this? What he did. So I created one and show it there. There is a donut and there is a stick o, then a bottle of milk in there. So I would say that it didn't match up how the things that I saw in the Pinterest, but I would say that I really showcase my creativity in there. And oh, by the way, I did this in Photoshop.
Oh.
The next one is this slide. You may be wondering why did they show this up? Actually, this one is I'm not the type of person to create a banner for birthdays. As you can see, I'm a designer for the food and the video there. But in here, I would say that all the learnings that I get from or the experiences that I get from Phoenix and also the learnings that I get from the CNA, I put it in here. Um, John Perseus. John Perseus is the name. Perseus is the name of Zeus' son, which is Perseus, right? So I wanted to match it up. So as you can see, he's holding the lightning bolt, and this one is just the man in the bike from the end to its pole. That's the only photo that he have, but I have to extend it because it's a banner. So
Yeah.
I look for a stock photo that we have to ride from the very far to there. Yes, so that's it. The next is okay. This one. This is a corporate one. This is a very memorable one because, as I mentioned before, I uh, I went to the workshop of CNA. They provide a video and motion graphics. So after a day or a week, they, the company told me, Dane, you have to create the video. You have to create. Yes. So, so this one is mind blowing. How am I supposed to start that? Oh my god, it's just a day. So here, my colleague or my team provide me a storyboard. So this should be the frame one, the frame two, the frame three. Then they just provide me the storyboard. But when it comes to the motion, it it I'm the one who's supposed to do it. So there. I started it with the flavor cleaning stack, then showing the wigacha farm and the onigiri, and there. So when I'm doing a video, it's I always match it with the music so that it tells a story. Where to start. So let's move. Okay, this one. This one is the second video that I did. I think it happens around 20 2020 pandemic, the pandemic days. Yes. Currently, we are working from home this setup. So this one, it is a program for SME, which is a small and medium enterprise. Okay. So we would like to help them to to sell their products. So in here, um, it shows in different cities that we are not just focusing for uh, for only uh, for only the gig area there.
Yeah.
So we're showing the whole Metro Manila map. So started from the map, then showing one by one the Family Mart stores there, then going to cookies, then one by one it shows the logo of the product there. It's the beer tin, then the ketchup and there. So next one, this one is also challenging. This is very new to me. Actually, I never get this lesson from the video, but they taught the most basic one how to do it. So this one is a teaser. It happens when we are preparing for the chicken do it
Campaign.
launch. Yes, campaign. So we started with the static one. So Bettina told me, my one of my team, that Bettina, Dane, can you do something that the chicken is burnt the edges there. So okay, we did static, but it didn't approve. So we move it to the next one is Dane. It didn't approve. We need to do it in a video one. That's why. So that's why in here it's burning there. But the catch of the music here is crunching, eating, and the bite. So there. So it would like show a hint that there's something new in Family Mart. And this one is it's also a video. Uh, Actually, the visuals you can see it in the Family Mart page. So here it's a celebration for the Happy Easter. So I would like to show new for myself, but also challenge myself. So I asked, Bettina asked me, Dane, what are we going to do with the Happy Easter? What are we going to do? And all. So I told him, how about we do this in an egg? There is all the mascots are in there. Then boof, they will go out there. Are you sure it's not hard? Yeah, but sure. I would just use it and check it how it works. And then
Typical Dane. Yeah, that's so typical of you, Dane.
I really want to challenge myself. I really want
Yeah,
to exit from my before and after.
yeah.
So
I think you executed very well. Uh,
thank you so much.
yes.
This one is very new to me.
Yeah. Dane, I think we're just going to flash more of those great works that you have, because I think we're going to have a individual episode with you and Andrew on in the future, giving you some hints on it.
Okay,
Thanks,
so this
Dane.
one. Oh,
Thank you.
so thank you.
Yeah, it's excellent, excellent designs, everybody. And so, does Sir Roland want to do
Oh,
some little Adobe Express?
okay, Andrew. I think this one is really a great time for us to also learn about some of the new things inside of Adobe Express. I want to thank all of our guest
Yeah,
speakers
thank
here,
you.
Jean, Jem, and Dane, and I hope to see you and know more of the details of your designs in the future episodes that we're going to have. So I'm just going to share my screen right now.
Okay.
Share, share screen, and then my screen here. So we could just learn a new thing that just came up like
And then Roland,
yesterday.
if you could just hit the hide word at
Yes,
the bottom right. Yep.
yes. Okay, I just
Looks
wanted
good.
to hide
Looks good
things.
though.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So we're all set, and this gives you an idea on what is we're going to talk about at the tips for Adobe Express. So right now, I'm glad to announce that multiple pages are here. Like, wow, this is so game changing. And if I get started right now, if I go to my current project that I'm working right now, if I click on that, multi-pages will enable you to create not just one or two, but multiple variation of sizes that you can easily create mock-ups, create designs, variations, versions, like faster than ever before using Adobe Express. So you would see here that this has now really been a game changer. If you click here, you can just see on the lower portion of your Adobe Express, you would see that you can duplicate the page just by clicking this icon. In an instant, you can just create another version of your designs. So if I just want to create another page on which I can also create versions on different sizes. For example, if I want to create a version of this design into a Facebook page, a Facebook layout, I can just easily do that. And let's see, let's try to do some templates on this. So click on templates. By the way, Express offers a lot of templates that you can use. But recently, with the power of multiple pages, this will enable you to just shoot your creativity away and make this a long and like a long and standing great effort for all of us to create this kind of designs.
Great.
So if you click on the navigation bar here, you can just easily, if you want to delete this, and if you want to manage all of your designs, like a bird's eye view of all of your pages, you can just click here, and you would see that this has a an intuitive design on which you can just create and just make new pages on the fly. Like if I want to just create a poster, I can just create this and then select a template, double click on it, use a template like this one, that easy. And that is really a great feature that they added for um, this part of the Adobe Express. So that would be my tip for all of you to try and explore multiple pages inside of Adobe Express so you can just create faster designs like in just minutes. So that's it. That's it. Multiple pages inside of Adobe Express.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Very great designs. Very great start to a new series that we can focus on. So, as Sir Rollan says,
Okay.
as Sir Rollan says, we'll focus, one at a time, showcasing as well in the future. So that'll be great. For those that are here watching, let us know if you have any questions or comments for any of the designers or in general. Let us know. People can be shy these days.
Yes.
Great. Okay, well, let me give some social shout outs to everybody. So first, in terms of what Rollan showed you with Adobe Express, you can find Adobe Express at adobe.com express or express.adobe.com. So do check out Adobe Express. They have features for free as well as paid, more advanced features. So adobe.com express or express.adobe.com. And those who are watching from my YouTube or are curious about my YouTube, please subscribe for more Adobe focused live streams and tutorials. YouTube.com Digital Art Drew. So do a search for Digital Art Drew and subscribe. Please subscribe. Watch all the long videos. Help my watch time hours. But yeah, a lot of great content,
Yes.
a lot of lives, Photoshop tutorials, Adobe Express lives. It's some very good stuff. And you can follow also on YouTube, Creative Nation Academy. So youtube.com/Creative Nation Academy. You can follow Gene at Gene. How do you say your last name? Gene Oceana? Is that how you say it?
Occeña.
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 See?
Yes.
Yep. GeneOcceña.work. You can follow Jem at LinkedIn.com. Jemmarie Bocalbos. Is that how you say it? Not too bad,
Yes.
right? I'm trying.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
And then follow Chardane at behance.net at Dane D. Martin, right? And yeah, but Behance is great too. I really like Behance.
Yes.
I have a portfolio on that. And as a reminder to do follow my Photoshop or join my Photoshop and Lightroom group on Facebook, facebook.com/groups, Photoshop Lightroom group. I think it's about to pass 297,000 on its way to 300,000. So we should be having a contest soon with prizes. So do join. There's a lot of great sharing of photography, Photoshop art, general photography and gear questions, Photoshop questions, tips and tricks. So, and also feel free to join my digital art group on Facebook, facebook.com/groups, the digital art group. Good sharing of digital art and also a bit of more Adobe design orientated sharing as well. So excellent. So thanks everybody. Thanks for your great designs and walking us through your process. And we will keep this going forward. So thanks everyone. Thank you, Sir Rollan. And,
Thanks, Andrew.
and yeah, we'll be back for different showcases. So thanks everyone for being here. It was really great. And thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks, everyone.